the midweek. Tired of the pressures and hassles of car shopping? Come see what more people are making the short drive to Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lafayette or online at jacksongm.com. That's Jackson Chevy Buick GMC in Lafayette. And I'm Sorgene 12, Chief Meteorologist at your 4.
Radio 92.7.
Listen to that. That's the sound of power and the call of the open road. That's the sound of the newly designed 2019 Indian Chieftain Limited. Yeah, Indian. It's more than a bike. It's an experience and an American icon. The place to find it, Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga, along with their entire new 2019 line. The open road is calling. Answer the call. Go to Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga. Just look for the sign on 153 and Amnicola. Indian Motorcycle, the true American original.
Join We've Got You Covered with Scott Schrader every Saturday from 10 to 11 on Nooga Radio. From finance to fixtures, we discuss everything you need to know about buying or owning a home, the pitfalls, the perks, and everything in between. Saturday mornings, 10 to 11, right here on Nooga Radio.
If you want to discover the real hope for your life through inspirational music, relevant messages, and testimonies from others who have already found hope, then we encourage you to visit the second annual My Hope Conference, October 7th through 9th at Hickson First Baptist Church. Free admission and childcare is provided for kids up to pre-K, while those in kindergarten through 5th grade will attend the Kids Hope Rally. For more info, visit myhopeconference.com or call Hickson First Baptist Church at 423-877-2467.
92.7 Nooga Radio.
Good morning, beautiful people here in the city of Chattanooga. It's your girl Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show. Y'all know what it is. I'm taking it from the streets to City Hall, from City Hall to the mayor's office. Can't leave out the police department, from the valley low to the mountaintop, giving you guys a bird's eye view to what's going on here in the city of Chattanooga. Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day here in the city of Chattanooga, and I'm so glad we're finally getting into the fall, that we are getting rid of this hot weather, that is starting to get cool. I can get up in the morning and it's not like smoldering 1,000 degrees. It's a nice breeze going on, and the fall is my favorite time of the year, and we can start seeing some of these mosquitoes die off. Oh man, good morning, everyone. It's Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show. Y'all know what it is. The call-in number is always the same, 800-8949, if you want to call in and chop it up with me. As well as if you cannot call in and you're not listening, but you're watching, because I'm always streaming live on Facebook via the Nooga Radio 92.7 FM and my personal page. Drop a comment, interact with me. Talk to me via Facebook and let me know what you have to say about what it is that I'm talking about. And I felt that this particular topic that I'm going to talk about today is very, very imperative, given what happened last week at the city council, me thinking over the last couple of days about what happened, being reached out. And I want to take a moment again to appreciate those who lifted me up and those who stepped on me. I love all of you the same. I don't love you just because you support me. I love even the person that does not support me. And why? Because agape love is unconditional, it's without strings. You have to, this is one of the things that Christianity really talks about, and it's loving the most difficult people. That is the most rewarding thing, when you love people who sometimes make it hard to love. And that's what really I'm all about. Today, we're talking about moving from a revolt to a full-scale revolution, because I firmly believe, maybe I'm wrong, opinions are like elbows. Everybody has one. Everybody has an opinion, but I firmly believe that we have those perfect storm conditions. We have those perfect instances in history and in time, where we legitimately have a small window of where we can make change and make difference that is going to impact generations to come. One of the things that, two questions that people have asked is, what drives me? What drives me to do this work? What drives me to come every day and to get on the radio? What drives me to show up to the city council? What drives me to speak truth to power? What drives me? The thing that drives me is I got tired of sitting in the privacy of my own home and seeing failing schools. I got tired of sitting in the privacy of my own home and seeing local economy be squashed for the chasing after of developers. What I got tired of seeing in the privacy of my own home, beautification or kind words like gentrification, when in reality it is ethnic cleansing and the destruction of historical content and culture at the expense of often people who are poor. I got tired of seeing my city change and not for the better. I got tired of sitting in the privacy of my own home. I was tired, but it's one thing to be tired, but it's another thing to be sick and tired. It's another thing to be sick and tired, because when you move from being tired to being sick and tired, it'll make you get up. It'll make you leave the privacy and the comfort of your own home and go out into the streets, or as the word of God would say, the highways and the byways, and compel people not only to come, but compel people to do the same. The first thing, though, is you're presented with a decision that you can remain comfortable in the privacy of your own home and see the world shifting in a way that you are not content with all around you and still be at home. Or you could be sick and tired of being sick and tired and you'll get up. And that is the purposes of the Marie Mott Show, is to hopefully spark a flame in you and get you to grow from being tired to being sick and tired of being sick and tired, and get you to get up. Get you to make the decision, the firm decision, that the world ain't going to change without some work. The world is not going to change without some effort. The world will not change without a war. The world will not change without a fight. The world will not change without a struggle. And you know what? A kind man who's trying to start taking this empty space right across the street from where I live, and has been working with neighbors in my community as well as me that live on the street that I live, to turn a piece of city property into a park. One of the things that he told me was, he said, Marie, always remember, you're either have traction going forward or you have traction going backward. But you do not stand still. And that's the thing. I think we sit in the privacy of our own homes, and we think that maybe because we made a Facebook post or a social media post that we're somebody, we're doing something, and that we've made some sort of impact. But the real impact has to happen in the real world. And you're going to have to step outside, not only of the four walls of your home, but to the person that has a charity, you're going to have to step outside of the four walls of your charitable organization. To the most church city in America, some of you preachers and pastors and first ladies and deacons and deaconesses and missionaries, you're going to have to step outside of the four walls of your church, of your mosque, and get to work and do some work. Because none of this stuff, that's the easy thing, the comforting place of being in your own home, or being in the four walls of your church or your mosque or your temple. The comfort of that is you can somehow look out into the world with a bourgeoisie attitude of those people need to get it together over there. Well, the only way that those people are able to get it together over there is if you go and help those people over there. Are we tired? Sick and tired of being sick and tired? Because if you're there, I'm imploring you, you're going to have to get up. It doesn't have to be anything big. We talked about this last week. Because I recognize that even though I know I'm exercising my First Amendment right to petition my government to redress the grievances, and I continue to talk about these things, hopefully to educate you, not only of your right, but how to assert them. But I also understand. I firmly understand, because I can't miscalculate this work that I'm doing or encouraging you to get into this work, because if you get too discouraged, you'll go back home. I got to be truthful when I talk to you about revolutionary work, and I talked about it on my page yesterday. Revolutionary transparencies. See, you can't get into this work if you're afraid about people talking about you. Go ahead and chalk it up that people are going to have things to say about doing revolutionary work. Revolutionary work is dangerous work. If it wasn't dangerous work, then the men who really wanted to write the Constitution for the people, by the people, would not have died penniless. If revolutionary work wasn't dangerous work, then Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and the Black Panthers and Marcus Garvey, and if it wasn't Patrice Lumumba, if it wasn't dangerous work, then people wouldn't be assassinated and intentionally imprisoned. It's dangerous. It's dangerous work. It's hard work. It's hard work. And I want you to walk into this with your eyes open, but I also want to encourage you at the same time, that all it takes, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with not only the first step, but with a firm decision that you made up in your mind that better is what you and everyone else around you deserve. That freedom is not just a word, it is a life. It is a lifestyle. It is a way of living. It's not just a word. It's not just a word. And hopefully the encouraging thing is that I don't want people to get caught up in just words. The Constitution really and truly is nothing if people don't take the ideology behind it and live it out in real life. The word of God is absolutely nothing if people aren't going to be a living example to what it says in the cover of the pages. The way that ideologies and things that we believe in the positive come alive is firmly by the decisions that we make and how we walk out this life that we live. Oh, it's a tough conversation today, but it's because a revolt and a revolution are two different things. I feel that the revolt should be the leading up, the stage, setting the stage for a revolution. And one of the things that I know when I look at history, often when you see revolutions, you see people and their emotions are stirred, but they have no plan. Often there is no plan. Really and truly, one of the only examples of not only a revolt, a rebellion, but a revolution that really kind of did something was the American Revolution, where it wasn't people that were just pissed off because the king was keeping them poor, but they wrote a constitution. They wrote ideology on paper, laws and expectations of people to follow, setting up a standard, a plan. We're in a state of rebellion, not only in the city of Chattanooga, but all across this nation. We have grown tired of the old guard, the old regimes. We've grown tired of the same kinds of people. How is it that you have People like Carol Burrs who run unopposed, who've been pretty much on the city council, I do believe, since its inception. Except that people have accepted that they should be under the leadership of one individual. That is firmly why, even though I appreciate people saying that I am their voice, I am not your voice. You have your own. You have your own. I don't mind. I surely don't mind. I don't mind speaking up for those who are marginalized. But you know what? It doesn't come across the same if it's one person shouting as opposed to if it's 1,000. And that's what it's going to take. If I had enough power on my own, the city council would have listened to me back in June when I originally petitioned them to get involved in what's going on here in the city of Chattanooga with the situation of Avery Gray's daughter. And even then, I cautioned them and I told them that if they did not step up, because human nature does not change. You give people an inch, they always, if unchecked, they're going to go a mile. They're going to go a mile. They're going to go a mile. And has that not been the case? That even just 2 weeks ago, we had a man who was tased to death by our sheriff department. Tased to death. Think about that, people. We're in a revolt. We had people who, this past weekend, who went down to Miller Park. Went down to Miller Park and protested against Kavanaugh. We had a march for their lives. So there is a revolt, a rebellion that's brewing, but we need a plan. We need a plan. If we want revolution, and let's look at these words, because I'm always breaking down words, because words have power, and they not only have power, they have meaning. And so, what is the definition of a revolt? A revolt is, the verb of that is arise in rebellion, to rise up, a mutiny, or to call a cause a feel of disgust. That is a revolt. But what is the difference between a revolt and a revolution? Let's look at it. Because we do say words, but we need to understand what they mean. And so a revolution is the overthrow of an old regime or an old effect, often violent, that is a complete and fundamental institutional change in a society. You see, it's nothing wrong that we have a rebellion brewing, but we need a fundamental societal change. We have not seen poverty at the level, not only in the city of Chattanooga. See, what makes things more concentrated is just the fact that Chattanooga is a mid-sized city. If you live somewhere like New York or Los Angeles or Miami or anywhere like that has millions of people in it, you'd see these same things, but it wouldn't be as bad. It wouldn't seem like it's on every corner. The reason that these issues here in our city are exacerbated is the sheer size of the city of Chattanooga. But all across this country, we are seeing the same things happen. The same things happen without exception. We have not seen the level of poverty that we have in this country since before the Great Depression. And folks, I am positive, I am optimistic, I am all of those good, lovely, bubbly things, but I also understand that we are not going to survive doing things the way that we do them. We're not. We are, without a shadow of a doubt, headed to a social and economic collapse. And we might as well make a firm decision that we're going to decide the world that we want to live in for tomorrow. And more than that, the world that we want our children and our grandchildren to live. We need to look into the future. Look into the future and see that if we have some of the best schools in the country that reside in Chattanooga and some of the worst schools in the state that reside in this city, and the only difference is the location. The only difference is what part of the city and what community surrounds those schools. To me, what that says is that there are communities that have an abundance of resources, while there are communities that legitimately have little to none. And all it would really take, because the money is there. I know the money is there. You want to know how I know the money is there? This is an agenda from your city council meeting. If you get a copy of this every time you go to a city council meeting. You can download them. They have the PDF files online. If you want to get the PDF files of them, you see millions of dollars. $500,000 here, $2 million there, $750,000 here. The money is there. The question is who's going to be bold enough to speak up about redistribution of resources and wealth? And then who's going to take it a step further and make sure that that happens? Because if we all pay into a coffer or a pool of taxes, then how is it that we don't have equal resources around the city of Chattanooga? Moving from a revolt, a rebellion, to a full-scale revolution. We're going to continue to get into it. Yeah, tough conversation today, but that's cool. It's only because I love you, and I want us to start thinking about how we want our city to be. And then once we have decided that, let's build it. Stay tuned for the second half of the segment.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A head-on collision claimed the life of 33-year-old Veronica Romero Saturday. Traffic investigators say it happened on Dayton Boulevard when a Volkswagen Jetta driven by Miss Romero was hit head-on by a Kia that crossed the center line, driven by 26-year-old Carpio Brooks, who sustained serious injuries. Charges are pending against Mr. Brooks. Signal Mountain Boulevard shut down after a tree fell on a motorcyclist, shutting down power for a portion of Red Bank. The tree fell into an intersection, taking down with it power lines and blacking out EPB customers. The motorcyclist rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. And Teonte Rice was shot on Windsor Street Friday night. CPD confirms he was taken to Erlanger, where he was later pronounced dead. Major Crimes Unit is investigating. If you have information on who fired the fatal shots, give the CPD a call. You can remain anonymous. Belle St. John for Nuga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Cash, and more cash. Get 8.1% return on your money. Rick Davis can turn your cash into real money. Gold and silver bullion. American Eagle Gold. The banks give you a measly 1.9%. At Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, you'll get 8.1% return on your money. 8.1% return on your money. Wow! Whether you're buying an ounce or 100 ounces, Rick guarantees it. In writing. 8.1% Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. Raider Road, Chattanooga.
It's that time of year again. For the 7th year, Wings Over North Georgia Air Show will be Saturday, October the 13th, and Sunday, October the 14th. You'll see some of our government's finest assets flying in the world today. The rarely seen Air Combat F-22 Raptor demo team and the A-10 Warthog will both headline the show, along with Tora, which is the reenactment of Pearl Harbor to include pyrotechnics. Patty Wagstaff and Michael Goulian, both world aerobatic champions, will be showing off their amazing skills, along with numerous other aviation rock stars. On the ground, you'll be able to experience military static displays and even have an opportunity to ride in a Huey or Cobra helicopter. Wings Over North Georgia is an action-packed way to spend a weekend with your family. You can even camp on the grounds. The Richard B. Russell Regional Airport is the place for all the action on October the 13th and the 14th. For tickets and camping reservations, visit wingsovernorthgeorgia.com.
Join Nuga Radio and the Gridiron Gang live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. We're talking all things high school football. There's a specialty brew or refresher weekly inspired by the game of the week. Sweet treats, extended hours all season long, and we're pet friendly. Portions of all proceeds support local schools and educational scholarships, as well as after-school programs. It's football time in Tennessee. Join us every Thursday live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks, 10 North, your North Shore neighborhood living room.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust. Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need Amco Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way. The Thompson Pet way. Yeah, I just put that anywhere.
Join We've Got You Covered with Scott Schrader every Saturday from 10 to 11 on Nuga Radio. From finance to fixtures, we discuss everything you need to know about buying or owning a home, the pitfalls, the perks, and everything in between. Saturday mornings, 10 to 11, right here on Nuga Radio.
Nuga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
Except partly sunny and warm weather out there through your afternoon. Can't rule out a spotty shower passing through, but not many. Highs into the lower 80s. Tonight, lows only 65 to 67. For Tuesday, partly cloudy back into the lower 80s with more sunshine and even warmer weather for the midweek. Tired of the pressures and hassles of car shopping? Come see what more people are making the short drive to Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lafayette or online at jacksongm.com. That's Jackson Chevy Buick GMC in Lafayette. And I'm Sorgene 12, Chief Meteorologist at your 4.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Yeah. I set the city on fire. Me and Isaiah Moore set the city on fire last week at the city council meeting. Christopher Dawes been setting the city on fire at the city council meetings. He had them so mad week before last, they walked out. They walked out on him. Oh, man. I see so many people working. I see you working. I see you working. And if you're doing something positive to impact this city, I'm with you. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I'm with you. We need to put out fires, and then we need to all start lighting fires under all of these politicians. And part of the reason why is, I'm telling you, they're going to be back on your doorstep. You're going to get flyers. Give it about a year and a half. They're going to be knocking on your door, asking for your vote. Popping up at your church, asking for your vote. You're going to get automated calls asking you to donate to their campaign. And some of these people who are sitting on the city council with impunity and indifference are going to have the aspirations to be Chattanooga's next mayor. I'm telling you what, I'm calling it like I see it. I know it. And they think that the way that they're going to get there or stay where they're at is, number one, that the people will let them. And number two, that we're not going to have some people that are so sick and tired of being sick and tired that they're going to have people coming out of the woodworks to run against them. I know part of the change that needs to happen is a fundamental change in leadership. Leadership has to reflect the mind, the body, the spirit of the people. It doesn't mean that we agree on 100% of the things. Make no mistake about that. Disagreement is healthy. It is. Disagreement is healthy. It helps you see another perspective. But what is not healthy is complete and utter disrespect and suppression of people. Like you can only speak twice in 30 days. Because if you come up here every week talking about we won't change, we won't change, we won't change, that's dangerous. Yes. Tuesday, if you're going to show up to the city council, which I am imploring you, pack the house. I wanted to be standing room only. To the point they're going to have to keep the doors open so people in the hallway can hear what's going on. Pack it out. But it's going to be at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, 1000 Lindsay Street. Show up. Show up. Get involved. Right? We need change. Chattanooga needs change. But it's going to take the people. I believe. It's my belief. Everybody doesn't believe this. You know, some people like to beat on their chest and talk about how they're the chairman of our city council. Well, that's great. That's fine. I'm not trapped in titles. Titles are not impressive to me. What's impressive is when it's tough, when it's hard, you make a righteous decision that's going to be proper for the people. And I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. Moving from a revolt to a revolution. 800-8949 if you want to call and chop it up with me. You want to call and talk to me, 800-8949. Now, one of the reasons why I know firmly why we need change in the city of Chattanooga, one of the things, now some people, now the video in particular that I was talking this past week, I went off. Comments rubbed me all the way the wrong way. And y'all pray for me. I do. And I can firmly admit where I have my shortcomings. I need to work on diplomacy. Hallelujah. I can admit it. I am not the most diplomatic person. I'm very, very raw, straight to the point. I punch you in the chest with what I say. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to uppercut you after that. I'm not diplomatic at all. And I'm going to work on that.
Comments rub me all the way the wrong way.
Good morning. Talk to me. Turn the volume down in the back.
I do, and I can firmly admit.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Are you the young lady on the radio at 92.7?
I am. This is Marie.
How you doing today? My name is Jerry Hart. I was calling on behalf. I'm here listening to you in the car, and I caught a glimpse of you saying show up at the city council at 4 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Today.
That's tomorrow.
What's going on?
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. So what's the mission? I mean, what we headed to the city council for? I mean, what we need to.
Well,
what we need.
Go ahead, man. No, I'm sorry. The first thing is that I want people to understand, and be concerned. Number one, with where your tax dollars are going and how they're being spent, and number two, how the people who represent where you live are voting. Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. I feel the same way you do. Honestly, I question the leadership in Chattanooga. You know, is the people that we put in the office, are they really doing their best to look out for the people, or are they basically just doing their best to look out for themselves? Exactly. And so that is why it's important, because people will tell you anything to your face, but the evidence is in black and white. The evidence is when you have people on the council who will say, well, it is not, the city council does not award payment in lieu of taxes. Hold up. See, this is why it's important going to the city council and keeping the paperwork. It says right here, a resolution to make certain findings related to the Ridgeway apartment redevelopment, to delegate certain authorities to the Health, Educational, and Housing Facility Board, and to authorize the mayor. And to authorize the mayor. Let me say it again. And to authorize the mayor to enter into and execute an agreement for payment in lieu of taxes. Is that not a pilot? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Talk to me.
Hey, how you doing? This is Mr. Hardy again. I just hung up. We just lost contact with each other.
It's okay.
Yeah, but you were speaking, that's why it's important. That was your last words. I'm sorry.
Yes, what I was saying is that it is very, very important. It's important for people to understand more than what's said to them, right? Because anybody can say anything to you in person, but you need to understand how are they voting and what are they voting for? Because if they say, I love my community and I'm for my community, but you see resolutions that only support development for the most part.
Exactly.
Is that love?
No, that's not love at all.
So that's what I was saying to you, sir.
Okay. And you say tomorrow at 4:00, ma'am. What's your name again?
Marie Mott.
Marie Mott. Okay. Are you on this channel 92.7? What days are you on here?
Monday through Friday, 11 to noon.
Okay, because this is my first time ever hearing your voice. So I want to get used to this voice, and I appreciate you, being a young lady that, doing your best to make a difference around here and make changes around here. Because, like you say, when we vote these people in, they can tell you all day they love your community, but your actions going to speak, alongside your words.
That is correct.
And people can say that all day, but like I say, we take things. I think our people we take what people tell us and we run with it instead of investigating and doing your own. Investigating on who that individual is, what have they done in the past. Because sometimes your past can't tell what your future going to be like. If you ain't done enough for your people in the past, how can I expect you to do this? Do the same thing. If you're not going to redo the same things that you were doing in the past for in the future. So, so I just want to tell you, I'm really going to be there. You say 4:00 tomorrow?
4:00 tomorrow, 1000 Lindsay Street.
1000 Lindsay, okay. Because I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to lead off with this. I have a friend I grew up with. His name is Anthony Bird. And I'm pretty sure you're probably familiar with who Anthony is. I think Anthony's been on the city council for what, 2 years or something?
Just about.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but I had got word that they was closing the Bicentennial Library downtown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that they was going to move it into the new building over at Avondale Recreation Center that they're building for the kids over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that they had a meeting on that, and a lot of people was mad at Mr. Bird for giving Mr. Bird the okay to do that, and without a fight, without putting up a fight, letting them know, hey, maybe I need to sit down and talk to this with the community to see where we need to go with this. I just can't take your word and run with it if my community is not satisfied with, that decision or whatever. So,
yes, sir.
But, that's something that I think that really needs to be reevaluated, because I feel in my heart that the only reason they basically trying to move that library from downtown because they trying to get rid of anybody that they feel they can come around that library and just hang around due to Chattanooga trying to be such a tourist attraction downtown, that they trying to get rid of all the people that they see that could be, tainted, what they feel like, that don't represent who they are, homelessness or whatever the case may be. And they trying to, put all that over in the, in some sense they say, well, in order to get rid of that, we put the library in the black community. We don't have to worry about any black even coming downtown, not unless it's for maybe eating, buying something, or whatever events they may have down there. So that's what I feel like that's the plan behind that. And, I just feel like, Mr. Bird should have, talked to the, consulted his community more before he gave them an answer on yes, go ahead with that.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I know they sit behind the door, and they make these, you know, they couch up these thoughts and stuff, and without the community knowing, so they go to the head. So they go to Anthony, who's representing the district, and instead of them saying we're gonna have a community-based, you know, conversation upon this thought, they go to the head, and if the head say okay, they don't have to worry about talking to the community because the person that represents the district has gave them the okay.
Yes.
So I just want to let you know that I know a couple of people that was very, you know, unappreciative of that decision that Mr. Bird made on allowing them to bring that library over there to that new recreation center or whatever.
All right.
It's just like, all right. And I don't mean to waste your time.
No, you're good.
I definitely make sure I make it to your to the meeting tomorrow at 4:00.
All right. I look forward to seeing you there.
All right, sweetheart. Your name is again. I want to make sure because I'm gonna introduce myself, so I want to know your name when I do see you.
Marie Mott, the one and
Marie
only.
Mott. Okay, Miss Marie Mott. Okay, Miss Mott, and I'm Mr. Harden. I'll definitely see you tomorrow, and you be safe, sweetheart.
Yes, sir. Good people, good people, good people, good people. See, this is why it's important. You got to show up. You got to show up, and even if you don't, you know, one of the things that this is 2018. So this is absolutely ridiculous that we do not have for council persons. First of all, when you want to talk about engaging young people in particular, young people are all about social media. And so wouldn't it make sense to have, I don't know, I'm just thinking outside of the box here. When it makes sense when you have decisions that need to be made for where you live, if you want to engage millennials, if you want to engage the young people, if you want to engage people who are all on social media, that you do a live stream where you can see people's comments and you can see the majority of people are against this or the majority of people are for that. And then you write that down. And then you have the physical meetings where, you know, the elders are going to show up too. Right? It may mean that the week before you render a decision, you lace up your tennis shoes and you're going to have to solicit some people. We're going to have people in this particular part of the name of the district. We're going to have volunteers in this part of the district who are going to be knocking on doors, asking people, I got an important vote coming up about such and such and such and such. And this is, I'm going to have people asking you, how do you vote on this? Is it a yes? Is it a no? This is the 21st century. Like we're going to have to step outside of the box. And if the people in power won't do it, that also means us. The revolution isn't going to be televised. It's probably going to be live streamed. The revolution is probably going to be live streamed. I'm telling you. You see, part of this as well, one of the things that I want to encourage is, and one of the reasons why you got to step outside of the four walls of wherever you're at, again, whether it's a temple, a mosque, a nonprofit, or the privacy of your own home or your business, and you got to get into the community, we're not going to be able to link up and meet each other any other way. Any other way. My list of people that I get to know and whose hands hopefully some of them I have yet to meet them in person. But part of that is because social media, I've had people inbox me who I probably would have never met if it wasn't for a live stream video. And so that gives you ability. We have to utilize these avenues to really spark a revolution. And so when I need help, I can solicit you to help me. And when you need help, I can come running. But why do you need to be concerned no matter if you show up in person or you don't show up in person? And no matter where you live, even if you don't have a city council, you have a county commission or commission style government, whatever it is, you have some form of government where you live. And you need to understand, because people can say, you know, my mama tells me all the time, more attention do people pay to what you do than what you say. So people pay more attention to what you do than what you say. What you say, yeah, the words last week really got to me, but it's not just the words. It's the fact that people are sitting on the council not doing anything. That's what's really getting to me, that they shake their hand and shake their hands. Young lady, I commend you on work. Well, I wish I could commend you on yours. You're not doing anything with the power that you have. And I know that because I understand government. I understand that you have power. And I need you to do something with it. And firmly, especially like Councilman Ledford, who said, you got to be careful what you say. Chattanooga is, the council is, we're here doing business. Well, you know what? When you make a terrible business decision, you have to eat that. And you need to admit that. We made a mistake. How do we have people in leadership who say that I am hitting them where it hurts, but they won't come out and say, I made a terrible mistake. We made a mistake. And we know we made a mistake. And we talk about it behind closed doors in the council chambers, and we come out here and we act like everything's okay. Somebody sitting on the council got to be controversial. I just need somebody to just go ahead and spill the beans. We made a mistake. We dropped the ball. Miss Mott, yes, you, David Toulis, Christopher Dahl, Concerned Citizens for Justice, Jesse Parker, you and several people have continued to come and petition us to get up off of our behinds and do some work, and we have refused. We've waited till the last minute, or we waited for you to do it and pretended like we were concerned about what was going on. All the while we sat on our hands because we didn't want to be painted a certain type of way. Make no mistake about it. Last week, it wasn't the words that really hurt me. It's the fact that I was staring down at several people who not only represent, they need to get it out of their head that they just represent their district. They are a body. If my heart refuses to work with my brain, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be a dead person. It takes all of it working together. The heart, the mind, the lungs, my kidneys. It takes every part of my body to work together for me to be a full, healthy person. And the moment that the lungs decide that today they don't want to breathe, Marie is dead. Same difference. If just one person refuses to do what they need to do on the council, they have ceased to have a healthy body. And the information that continues to come out about our government says just that we are sick to the core. We are sick to the core. And I firmly believe that if people had the character and the morality in them, they would have done it a long time ago. It's time for the people to rise up and to do it themselves. We got to do it ourselves. Y'all know what it is. Marie with the Marie Mott Show. This Saturday, meet me at Westside Missionary Baptist Church with Pastor Timothy Carruthers. Yeah, from 11 to 1. Y'all know what it is. Marie with the Marie Mott Show. If no one is taking the time today to tell you that they love you, I love you. And it's absolutely nothing that you can do about that. Make sure you have a good day here in the city of Chattanooga. I love y'all.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A head-on collision claimed the life of 33-year-old Veronica Romero Saturday. Traffic investigators say it happened on Dayton Boulevard when a Volkswagen Jetta driven by Miss Romero was hit head-on by a Kia that crossed the center line, driven by 26-year-old Carpio Brooks, who sustained serious injuries. Charges are pending against Mr. Brooks. Signal Mountain Boulevard shut down after a tree fell on a motorcyclist, shutting down power for a portion of Red Bank. The tree fell into an intersection, taking down with it power lines and blacking out EPB customers. The motorcyclist rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. And Teonte Rice was shot on Windsor Street Friday night. CPD